My name is Curt Poole. I'm the utility billing manager. So if you ever have any questions, you probably see me on Facebook. You see me on all the social medias. I will post my, my name, my email, phone numbers, anything like that. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I've got a business card I'll give to you at the end if you would like. So what we're here to talk about is basically y'all hear me in the back? If not, I've got a microphone I can intensify. You good?
We'll get the door.
Security's not doing a good job getting our door back there. So we'll go ahead, we're going to get started. So again, there's my name and information. So how do we read your meter? So all utility customers in the city of Broken Arrow now have what we call an AMR meter. They are read electronically. We have meter readers that drive around throughout the city, and they have data collectors inside their trucks, and those data collectors read your meter. So basically it's just a Wi-Fi connection, like two cell phones talking to each other. And so there is no manual intervention, so that reduces any type of opportunity for input errors and things like that, where used to we would read them manually and we would have to type them in by hand. They may read a number wrong. This is your meter talking to a laptop computer, downloading that information.
Did you guys have to manually put the Wi-Fi on each meter?
It's the meter, the Wi-Fi is in the meter. So we installed each meter at each location, but the Wi-Fi is already, that part of it is already there.
How long ago did you do that project? How long
it's been about a 10-year project in the makings, and so last year was when everything was completed. And so one of the biggest questions is what's this little silver disc on top of my meter lid? What that is that's an antenna that actually goes in and connects to the meter, and it's just a booster. So basically that just helps us read the meters, ensure that we get those readings. Even without that, the meter has the capability of sending and transmitting that reading even without the booster on there. So, but a lot of people think that that's actually their meter on top of the lid. That's just what we call an AMR antenna. Basically, as they go around and they read, they do get signals, and sometimes it'll say this meter, we can't read it, and so they will physically go to that house, get that reading. So we do read meters, every meter, every month. We have approximately about 43,000 meters that are read each month. We have, each one of those meters has a 90-day capacity of whatever usage that you have by hour. So in the event that you have a high bill and you're questioning it and you think that the meter's wrong, we can actually go and pull a graph, and it'll give us 95 days worth of usage. We can provide that graph to you, and it'll actually, if we want to drill into it, like I said, we can go by hour, and we can say, this may be too much, but I had one customer that talking to him, and I was like, looking at your graph, every morning about 4:05 in the morning, there's about 5 to 6 gallons of water. He said, oh yeah, that's my routine bathroom break every morning. That's how technical these meters are. We can tell you exactly how much water is being used at any given time. This will show you that graph. So as you can see, it shows you the spikes and things like that. So if you ever get a graph, it'll probably be from me or from the supervisor, Brenda Biddle. And so what this does is this graph shows you by day. So each column is a day. On the left-hand side is your gallons. So the peak up there is 200. So this particular address, they use 250 gallons in one day, and that was the peak. One thing that we see a lot is with sprinkler systems. You can see, and it's very stagnant across. And I can, typically say, oh, it looks like you're running your sprinkler system Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It is very technical and shows you exactly when the water's being used.
Is there a charge for the charge?
Right now, we give the first one for free. Anything after that, there is a $60 charge, because there is, the manpower to go out and pull that information. Then we have to then download it and then get it back to the customer. But in the few slides here, I'll go over something else that may be a little bit more exciting for you. So why does your monthly bill vary? Like I said, we have about 44,000 meters that we read each month. We actually read those in 4 different cycles in a month. So Depending on where you live in the city, you're in a cycle. And so we have cycle 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we read those on Mondays, and we download those every Monday. And so why your bill can vary depends on how many weeks are in a month. So some months of the year we have 5 weeks. So we have to skip that, that 5th week, which then can make your billing period longer. Typically it's a 28-day billing cycle, but sometimes it can vary and it can be 32, 35 day billing cycle, which obviously there's more consumption because you have an extra week on top of what you normally, and so the main thing when you're looking at your bill is it tells you how many days are in your billing cycle. So if you see an increase in your bill, don't think that there's automatically a leak or something going on. Just look at how many days are in your billing cycle, and that's probably why you have the increase in your bill. And obviously holidays and things like that as well. And this kind of just shows, this was last year. You can see how many days, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 months that we had over 28-day billing cycles. Can water meters give false readings? Typically, almost always, it's never going to register high. We've had our AMRs in the ground for over 10 years. We have never had one that we've tested or have discovered that it has read high, meaning it says that you've used more water than what you actually used. Actually, the meters will do the opposite. So if the meters break or faulty, they actually will start slowing down and eventually get to 0. Even though you still have water to take that shower in the morning, your meter will show 0 because it's no longer registering. And then we have obviously metrics in place that we can go out and when we get that, we get notified. We go out, check it. If it is, then we replace it and put a new AMR in it. And then you'll start registering for the next month. A way that you'll be able to tell that on your bill is on the left-hand side, right above the graph. It has your meter number. If you ever see 2 different meter numbers there and you have readings for one and readings for another one, you know that you've had a meter change out. And then that's how you'll know whether or not you've had a meter replacement or something like that. Like I said, as meters age, they will read low, resulting in a lower water bill. We actually test the AMRs when we get those shipped in new to us. Our water department actually tests periodically those meters to make sure that they are within compliance when we get them before they ever go out into the field. And then typically once a meter registers over 1 million gallons, our water department goes out and we replace those. And then what we do is send those back to the manufacturer. They refigure everything and then send them back to us and calibrate back to 0.
Who's the manufacturer?
Neptune is the maker of it.
Okay.
And then just kind of on average, so just kind of give you an idea, if you use 9,000 gallons a month for 12 months, it would take approximately 9 years before your meter would get to 1 million gallons. So to kind of talk back to you, in regards to our meters, the meter is what we call an AMR. We're currently in the process of installing what we call an AMI. That is basically a meter interface. And so we are putting transponders throughout the city so the meters will actually hit those transponders and then they'll actually come back to the office. So we will not have to actually have people drive around anymore. We'll be able to get those readings in-house real time. At the same time, we will have a customer interface website that you will be able to actually go in and get those same readings. You can actually be able to set up notifications. So if you say, typically I use 5,000 gallons a month. If it hits 10,000, I want to be notified. It will notify you and then it'll tell you, hey, you've got something going on. You can then go look by day and see what your usage is and see if there's spikes, and then you can catch that before you wait 30 days before you get your bill, because right now you have to use it, we get it, then we have to bill you. So by the time you can see that you really had a leak, you're about 45 days in right now. This will be real time.
So when this is ready, will we get something, not fine print, but will we get something in our mail saying this, or what communication will be by?
Right, yeah, we will send out, and we always try to hit all platforms. So typically, depending on what the communication is, we'll mail a letter out, we'll put it in with the bill, we'll have it on social media. We actually have a email blast that we can send out. and things like that. So
It's super easy to sign up for. All you gotta do is the city website.
yeah,
Check
so
off anything you want to receive.
right, and there is, you know, that, and then if our customer portal, if you sign up through the customer portal, then we also have access to your email at that point, and we can also use that as communication, even if you don't want the spam. You know,
Right.
a lot of people don't want to just receive a lot of email, but if you actually sign up through the
Let you
customer
check
portal,
mark what you want.
right, exactly.
When will that be completed?
Our goal is by the end of the summer, I believe, is when we're kind of goal. But obviously with technology, there's a lot of testing and opportunity that we have to. But hopefully, no later than by the end of the year, we would hope. But we're
Who's your Wi-Fi provider? Who's the internet provider for the city that you run that on? Cox or Verizon or what's the other one called?
it's an internal. I mean, it's basically our It's our
You have
Wi.
your own network capability across the city? I mean, it's not running on
The
any.
internal network is ours.
Right.
But I don't know how we're putting, are you putting it out on?
It's out on the pole, so I mean, it would. I'm not sure I can get that. I
That
mean,
doesn't matter. I just wondered, because they only have 2 broadband providers in the city.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because like I said, it's, the meters are talking to our laptops now, and then there's no Wi-Fi for that. I mean, it just communicates to itself, which what we have out on the poles, it's basically, all it does is just transmit it, basically,
Comes back to one center.
it just pings off of each other,
Look
yeah.
at it at City
So
Hall.
it's not technically a Wi-Fi provider, it's an internal device.
Okay,
So
I see
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah,
It's within your own.
right. It's not like Cox or anything like that has
okay,
anything.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're really excited about this piece of it because, like I said, obviously it'll present new opportunities as a city for us, different challenges, but this will actually give you the tools in your hands, and you can help, you can see your own usage, and you don't have to rely upon us to provide that information for you.
Is it new software, or has the software been used in other cities?
It's used,
Tested.
yeah.
What's the, has Broken Arrow ever had a ransomware attack or anything like that? Or can you even say?
I mean, obviously every
City's under threat. Tulsa had one.
right.
We have a very high, we have a great team of security.
Cybersecurity guys?
Yeah.
And they try, but they have.
It's cat and mouse. It's all cat and mouse.
Right. As far as I know, our customer information database has never been breached
Okay.
based off of that from the city.
Okay.
Knock on wood. Thank you, Dustin.
Okay.
So billing options. So there's, as far as the billing options, there's a lot of people talk about different things on social media and things like that as far as averaging and things. So the city does have what we call, it's a budget program. So for those that either want a set amount each month, or those that use a lot during the summer and then use less in the winter, but you want to balance it out, we do have a budget program. So basically what it does is takes your last 12 months, it takes that average, and then basically you just pay that set amount each month, and then each June it just recalculates. So if you use more than what you did the year before, it's going to average that, put that into your new factor, and then the next year it'll just recalculate. Same thing if you use less, it'll recalculate and lower your budget amount. Payment options, I think there's pretty every way you can think of paying your bill. You can pay online, you can pay over the phone, you can use Apple Pay, you can use PayPal, you can use any type of credit card.
Just gotta have some money.
This is true. We can't help with that piece of it, but we have every way possible that you can pay. You can pay online, you can do auto pay where it automatically deducts out of your check each month, or you can even use a credit card. So there are no fees for any way that you pay the city. We do not charge you a fee for that. So, yes ma'am.
I noticed on one of my bills that it said after 5 o'clock you'd be charged a late fee if the day of. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so just like with pretty much any entity, there's a due date. And so depends on what cycle I was talking about earlier, that there's 4 different cycles. our due dates are a certain Wednesday of the month. So it's either the first, second, third, or fourth Wednesday, depends on what cycle you fall in. We don't go days of the month, we go day of the week. And so you have a certain due date that is it's a Wednesday of every month. So we actually give a day grace period, but on your bill, your due date will be whatever that Wednesday is. If you don't have it paid by 5 o'clock on Thursday the next day, there's a late fee, which is a 10% on the current charges.
And they turn it off the next day.
Actually, we're probably one of the most lenient utilities there is. You actually have to be 2 months past due before you get turned off.
Don't tell people that.
So, well, we're transparent, so you know it is what it is.
You meant to say 2 days.
Yeah, so there's some places if you don't pay 10 days later, you're turned off.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the thing is, you know, people, you know, you see them on talking about whatever, oh, well, they turned me off. You have to be at least 2 months plus current bill, so you actually have you owe for 3 months before you ever get turned off.
Somebody said recently on Nextdoor, anybody noticed the convenience fee went up for paying water bill online?
Negative. We do not have a convenience fee. So,
The city absorbs all
Don't
fees.
believe that crap, that next crap.
That's why I asked, I didn't think so.
yeah, so if I'm part of that neighborhood and that part of that group, you'll probably see a post from me later on that will be clarifying that for them, that there is no convenience fee. So what it is there are other entities out there. One of them is Doxo. So a lot of times people just go to Google and they type in pay City of Broken Arrow. Well, Doxo comes up and it looks official, but it's $2.95 to pay it. If you go to Walmart and they try to make a payment there using Broken Arrow, Walmart is not an authorized payment center. You pay extra fees. That usually takes 2 to 3 days for us to get those payments.
Yep.
Like I said, pretty much any way that you want to make a payment. In regards to that, we have the budget billing and then also the auto pay. And we're getting close to the end of our time. So here's all my information. Like I said, I've got a business card. If you would like that, I'll be more than glad to give that to you. And then Cindy Arnold, she is our finance director. That's who I report to. So if for whatever reason you talk to me and you don't like my answer, Cindy would be more than glad to talk to you as well. But you know, like I said, we're here for the residents, for our customers, and you know, help you however we can. And I'm more than willing to answer any questions.